the Offsides podcast. As today we'll be discussing Week 14 NFL, and for our first game we have the 1-11 Titans versus the 3-9 Browns in Cleveland.
It's looking to be a very exciting game. Not really, because the records don't really show it.
Hey, we have draft implications here, so we'll see what happens.
But yeah, rookie QB Cam Ward is looking to head to Cleveland to take on the 3-9 Browns.
Yep.
Who have recently been starting Shedeur Sanders, which
Yeah.
is an experiment.
Which their fans have been arguing for weeks.
The whole season, which
Yep.
I obviously see.
Yep. And then here we are as he gets a start for the third consecutive as well.
Mm-hmm.
See how he does against the Titans, who have been struggling just all around in general.
And then just looking at the ESPN analytics, the Browns have a 51.5% chance to win, which is very slight.
Yeah.
So they're slightly favored, but then overall, this game really won't have much of an impact on the draft, which a lot of games with these kind of records are, but both these teams are kind of at the bottom, so they're both kind of...
So they're both fighting for that number one pick.
Yeah, which most likely will go the Titans.
Yep, and then that is the first game pretty much of the 1 o'clock slate. For another one, we have a big division battle between the 6-6 Steelers, who go into Baltimore and face, once again, the 6-6 Baltimore Ravens.
And this is a little step up from the last game, obviously. But as they're both seeing their struggles, but they're both at the top. 6-6 is the best record in this division, so they're both looking to take the first place lead in this game right here. So this game means a lot for both teams.
Yeah. Then also, both teams have been dealing with struggles recently. Their offense aren't clicking. Lamar isn't looking like the same MVP self he's had recently.
Yeah, Lamar's kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been looking like he has the past 4 or 5 seasons, but...
Yeah, so once again, too, that just week after week, it feels like we have a new division leader there. It's flip-flopping betwing the two.
Yeah, and then the Bengals aren't even that far behind.
Look out for the Bengals. It could happen. So, yes, they both sit at 6-6. Now we will head over to Lily with her insights on today's matchup between the Steelers and Ravens.
Most of the game. And for the Ravens running back Derrick Henry, who is looking to gash the Steelers defense. Aaron Rodgers will be looking forward to start against the Ravens for the first time in a Steelers uniform, as the Steelers and Ravens both come in with a 6-6 record, battling for first place in the AFC North. The Steelers are without a few key players, such as Roman Wilson, Kyle Duggar, and Derek Harmon. This could have an impact on the result of the game, while the Ravens come into this game with mostly a healthy unit. And with that, going back to the studio with Hunter and Braden.
All right. Thank you, Lily. And once again, we are on the 1 o'clock slate. So we have another pretty interesting divisional game. We have the 8-4 Indianapolis Colts going into Jacksonville, facing once again the 8-4 Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is an interesting game because early on the Colts looked like they were going to be one of the favorites.
Like they were going to run away with this division.
Daniel Jones is playing like an MVP candidate.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor
was just going off.
Yeah.
But they've been on a 2-game losing streak recently, so it's just kind of been hitting them a little bit. But the Jags have kind of brought it back, and they're looking to take the division over there. So this is a very important game again for both teams, as Daniel Jones has to kind of get out of the slump he's been in after he started off on the MVP candidate.
But for sure, this should be a fun game to watch, obviously, in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to play in, honestly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you have this divisional for the AFC South, and once again, whoever wins this game is sitting at the top of their division as well. So
another good matchup here.
Yep. And then we'll head to another game, which these two teams have been very interesting to watch this year.
I know. They were both playoff teams recently, but then this season they've both kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, with just injuries and struggling. So we have the 3-9 Washington Commanders heading to Minnesota to face the 4-8 Vikings.
I know, and it's kind of sucks for the Commanders because their star quarterback Jaden Daniels has been off and on injury. He got hurt in early on the season, then he came back for a game, then he got hurt again. So that kind of affected the Commanders' season a lot, as he kind of helped them through a lot of the games.
And then as well, the injury, I thought that he would be out for longer as well, and he will be starting this game, which is very exciting for Commanders fans. I guess you have something going for you.
Yeah, so they can, they're looking to just get a win here, which is fine for the Vikings with that. I'm cool with the Vikings losing because that helps my team, the Lions.
But. Yeah. All right, and then once again, we're still at the 1 o'clock. We have the 4-8 Cincinnati Bengals going into Buffalo to face the 8-4 Buffalo Bills. So obviously this whole situation is the quarterback play. We've had these battles in the past. It's kind of becoming more of like a more recent rivalry between these two for playoffs as well and implications. But you have the Bengals with Joe Burrow, who's back now.
Which had a very similar situation to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Without Joe Burrow, they're kind of not really that good, but Joe Burrow's back in the lineup, and they're still trailing the Steelers and Ravens right there at the 4-8. They're only behind 2 games, so they could still sneak up. And
like with schedules being winded down, I can see them actually being a force to reckon with entering the playoffs.
Sneak into the playoffs
for sure. But then again, they're going up against a hard competition in Buffalo against the Bills. Very tough. Obviously, the Steelers last week was a tough go around against the Bills. But Josh Allen and Cook just took the game over, and that's what pretty much their offense have been based on this year.
Yeah, they pretty much just get the ball running with James Cook, and then he kind of takes the offense from there.
Then again, too, like the Bengals, you got to talk about the Bengals defense. Again, it's been struggles for at least 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I actually think this game will be a shootout.
Yeah, it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals end up pulling it off.
For sure. And then once again, another division game. This one is kind of interesting. You have the 5-7 Miami Dolphins, who've been hot recently, going into New York to face the 3-9 Jets.
So it's pretty much just a winner-lose situation for the Dolphins here, because if they lose, they're pretty much out of the playoff picture. But if they win, they are still fighting that. They'd have a 6-7 record.
Yep.
And they're still fighting for that playoff spot, trying to sneak in. So this is a crucial game for the Dolphins, and then the Jets are just trying to spoil the Dolphins right here. They're trying to play spoiler.
Because again, you're going up against a division rival. That's something you want to do. You want to knock them out the playoffs. That's such a good feeling to have. But then again, the Miami Dolphins they've always just been in that hunt, which they shouldn't be.
I know, but they always kind of hang around.
But this season, they've been hanging around with their record as it has. And again, they're also kind of forcing a playoff pot.
I know.
Between, as you know, you had the whole situation of the coaching problems, how he might be fired, but now he's back and this and that.
Mike McDaniel's still
yep.
But
so we'll see what happens between this game. I think at the end it comes down to turnovers as well, Tua's turnovers, and also the Jets' quarterback play as well. And then
it's been very inconsistent.
Yeah, and then also the Jets just really got to keep the Dolphins not allowing the big chunk plays as well.
Yeah.
All right, and now another game we have is the 9-3, the red hot Seattle Seahawks versus the 8-4 Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, the Seahawks are looking very dominant this year. They've been pretty much all solid with their superstar wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba. So he's been popping off.
Yeah, I mean, every game he has about 100 some receiving yards.
So that's a big key for the Falcons to stop him.
For sure.
And they're not going to have a fun day.
For sure. And I feel like for this game, the Falcons really need to start running the ball more with their star, who could be a star running back, Bijan Robinson.
I mean, I think he's already started.
Just
his team isn't the best, but
he's just not in the best situation.
Yeah.
But again, he can be involved in both the run game, which obviously we know what he can do, and the pass game as well.
The pass game's very crucial too.
Yeah.
So that's the main ticket for the Falcons. But the Seahawks are looking to just seal their overall season, lock in that playoff spot.
For sure. Which again, the NFC it's a battle.
NFC's all
anything can happen. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. And then again, this game is once again, it's coming down to offense, limiting those mistakes, which we've seen from both teams as well. The Seahawks have. Sam Darnold can also make that big decision that can cost a game, but hey, they've been winning, so
I'm not going to question.
Yeah, for sure. And then pretty much one of the last games for the 1 o'clock slate is the 2-10 New Orleans Saints going to Tampa to face the 7-5 Bucks.
Again, this is just like a Bucks win situation where they have to win if they want to stay in that race for their division.
Yeah.
They looked really good early on, and then they kind of went in a slump.
Injuries as well.
Wide
receiver core has taken big hits over the season.
Injuries killed them.
For sure.
Because Mike Evans got hurt, which is their main guy for the past 10 years.
And then Mbuka going down, promising star receiver for a little bit as well.
So that really hurt him in that middle of the season slate, which kind of affects their record right now. But I think they can be a sleeper team for sure to make a deep playoff run. I feel like in this day and age, ever since Baker Mayfield has got there, they've always kind of just been that hard underdog team that's been fighting for playoffs, which they can't get it done. Yeah, because they made the divisional round a couple years ago and almost knocked off the Lions. But Lions won it with a last-minute interception. So
for sure, but I mean Baker Mayfield at the QB position, he can be an MVP.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He can be in the MVP conversation. So if that team gets to start going, I think this is the game to get their offense going against the Saints.
Bucks are just a big what if Mike Evans
yeah.
Mecca Buka didn't get hurt, where would they be right now? But they're still very well alive in that playoff race.
Yep. All right, and here we are to the 4:00 slate. We have the 10-2 Denver Broncos heading to Las Vegas to face the 2-10 Las Vegas Raiders.
There's not much to say about this game, so we can kind of glance over this one a little bit. But the Broncos just they're 10-2 somehow.
Yeah,
they've been winning games.
They're just that team they're honestly like sometimes they came to the Chiefs. Like they're finding ways to win the game.
They're always winning a game.
Yep.
They barely won last week with 10-7, but they're on a 6-game streak, and the Raiders are on a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah.
But in the division, I mean, any game can happen, but I think the Broncos pretty much got it locked up.
Yeah.
Bo Nix needs to just limit his turnovers, and I think the Broncos should be just fine.
Yeah, like we've seen these two face off before in the earlier part of the season. It was just 10-7. It was such just an offensive struggle game. Like you don't know. Sometimes Bo Nix can be one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and other days he's not too good.
So I think as long as he limits his turnovers, he'll be just fine.
For sure. All right, and now we have the 9-3 Los Angeles Rams going to Arizona to face the 3-9 Cardinals.
The Rams are just looking to kind of bounce back after the Panthers upset them last week.
Yeah.
Which before that, the Rams were rolling, though. They were looking really good with their pass game, and Stafford, which is a top 2 MVP.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I mean, what he's doing at his age still, he's like one of the most, like his arm slots when he throws the ball, he throws dimes. Like he's even sometimes mobile as well. Like he's very mobile. Exactly. So, but once again, I feel like this will be kind of like the Bucs situation against the Saints. This is a game to get yourself going, pick off that offense, which obviously they have Puka, one of the top receivers in the league as well, and then a good run game. So I feel like this is going to be an offensive explosion for the Rams.
Pick that offense up and rebound from last week, and they should be set.
For sure. So I'm just expecting just a dominant game from the Rams on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. But we'll see. Hey, anything can happen. Now, honestly, this in my opinion could be one of the top games of the week. We have the 9-3 Chicago Bears versus the 8-3-1 Green Bay Packers.
This, in my opinion, is the best game to watch this week because it means a lot for the division. Because 8-3 Green Bay with 9-3 Chicago, whoever wins this game takes the lead in the division. So, and the Bears have been a huge surprise this season.
Yes.
They're finally having a good season after what seems like forever.
I mean, you want to talk about their defense? I think they're still leading the league in takeaways.
Takeaways, yeah.
So
their defense has really stepped up this season.
Yeah, and this honestly, like they're a fun team to watch. They're getting younger. Obviously, they're a really young team.
Caleb Williams,
yeah, and like they're finding ways to win games. Again, they're 9-3. When was the last time have we seen the Chicago Bears number number one in the NFC? No.
They had that one playoff run a couple years ago.
The missed field goal.
Yeah, that happened, so they kind of got.
Yeah, but then again,
killed all their momentum.
They're going to face also a young Packers team as well, and Jordan Love, quarterback, and we'll see how this game goes. Honestly,
yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game to play
for sure. So I kind of think this matchup will mostly come down to which defense can force the turnovers and who will win at the line of scrimmage, because both of these teams have very solid D lines. And let's see if they can stop the run game and Jacobs for the Bears, and then we'll see.
Yeah, this should be a good overall game.
Yeah. So then we have our prime time Sunday night game. This is an exciting one.
This is also an exciting game. Yeah.
This honestly too is kind of like more of a rivalry game. I feel like these two face off all the time, trying to battle for playoffs as well.
Both sitting with similar records, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Chiefs have been actually struggling this year. They have a chance to miss out on the playoffs for the first time since 2014.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, then obviously, like every single year, I feel like this is a team that's in the Super Bowl as well. Obviously, like we've seen
in the Super Bowl. They've been competing for Super Bowls the past feels like forever. They're always around that Super Bowl picture, but this season they've kind of
for sure. And we'll talk about that later in our upcoming segments. But this is a Sunday night matchup for this two to stay alive in the AFC playoff picture, obviously. Because the Texans are they're also a team that can battle for that division as well with the Colts and Jaguars. They're sneaking up.
They're hanging around in there for sure.
So I feel like this is a statement game for them. If they come out there and beat the Chiefs, have the Chiefs fall to 6-7, and they're 8-5 now, and they're once again they're battling for that division.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens with that division as well.
Yeah.
So obviously, like the Chiefs will rely on Mahomes this game, like every single game. That is your number one goal, is to get him going, get the offense moving. But so going against just more of a younger Texans defense, and they'll just need to stay more consistent against a struggling Chiefs defense as well on the offensive side for the Texans.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to come down to whoever can execute the best and take the opportunities that they're given is what it's going to come down to.
For sure. So we'll see what CJ Stroud can do against that team and what Mahomes can do. So we'll see who wins that game. All right, now it's time for one of our first storylines of the day. So obviously we're in week 14 now. We're a good way through the season. So I want to talk about more of the surprising teams this season.
And one of the first ones that comes to mind is the Patriots.
Yes.
Nobody thought they'd be 10-2, leading the league for the best record. I mean, May's playing.
What Drake May is doing right now is actually incredible. They're getting the run game going now as well. Offense, like receivers are doing well. The defense is looking really well. Like this, honestly, is a very scary team to look at right now. And from past years, it's been like, oh, the Patriots, like they're going to battle for a draft pick, this and that. Here they are. They're back. They're sadly back.
They're back. Sadly back. They got over that Tom Brady. And thought the wrath was over, but came back.
Obviously, another team is the Bears. I mean, we just talked about them.
We just mentioned them earlier. Caleb Williams putting them together, and then also the Broncos with Bo Nix. Nobody thought they'd be as good as they are, even though they're barely skating by. Wins.
They're surprising, but
I don't know how long they'll last.
No, I'm not 100% on the Broncos.
I'm not all the way in on the Broncos.
Exactly. So another team we have, they don't play this week, but the Panthers.
Yeah. Everybody thought they'd be bottom of the NFL, kind of just scraping the bottom of the barrel, looking for another draft pick, but they're right up there in that playoff race.
I mean, I also really like their offense.
Yeah,
you have Rico Dowdle, who's been amazing.
Yep.
CJ Stroud is taking a little bit of a step up. He still has some to go, but from being that number one pick, I feel like a lot of time as well, he didn't have that roster.
Yeah, Bryce Young didn't have that roster.
Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Yeah,
Bryce Young
didn't really have that little roster, but now he's got a good receiver in Ted McMillan over there, which has been.
And Leggett can also produce numbers as well.
Rico Dowdle has been popping off lately.
He's the savior of that defense, of that offense right now.
Because of the injury to Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah. So then again, the Seahawks, we talked about them as well. Their offensive explosion this year. We'll see if they can keep that up.
And then the Jaguars also are in there.
And then
the Colts, even though they hit that little slump, I think they can get out of it.
For sure. Like before, they were one of the scariest teams I've ever seen.
Yeah.
With Jonathan Taylor rushing for like 130 every week.
And Daniel Jones
going off.
Danny Dimes throwing all those.
So now they're on kind of like a little skid here.
Yeah.
But we'll see if they can come back. But in general, they've been a surprising team for me. All right, now. So you have that for storyline 1. We got to get to storyline 2, and that's more of the opposite side of what we've been talking about. It's more the disappointing teams this year.
One of the main ones is two that stick out to me are the Ravens and Steelers, which they're both sitting at 6-6.
Yes.
And typically they have a lot better records than that at this point. They're usually sitting at the top of the
a little bit higher,
bit higher in the NFL, especially the Ravens. Past couple of years they've been always at the top. And they couldn't quite reach that Super Bowl peak, but they've definitely been struggling this season.
Then again, too, they've had a couple injury situations as well. Their defense have been banged up for a couple weeks. But again, we talked about this week. I feel like they're mostly back to full health.
Yeah.
So see if they can turn it around, which I hope they don't because, for obvious reasons. But another team is the Steelers. Again, we talked about it. They've also been having pretty much inconsistency with the quarterback situation. Obviously, you have Aaron Rodgers. When he's good, he's one of the best QBs in the league, but he's old.
Staying healthy,
He's having trouble staying healthy. He's been pulled from many games recently, having to start Mason Rudolph, which has been absolutely disgusting to watch.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best.
No.
And then going over to the Chiefs, which you mentioned earlier, their defense is just kind of holding them back, I feel like, which is usually one of their strong points.
Yeah.
Defense is really holding them back.
They've definitely taken hits recently over the past couple seasons, losing big players.
Going over to the Falcons, which they overall have a good team. It's just their quarterback play hasn't been very consistent lately.
Because as well, like at the beginning of the season, I was really high on them.
Yeah,
I honestly thought that they were going to win their division.
Yeah, but they've been really struggling. And then the Commanders, obviously, with Jaden Daniels getting hurt, that affects them a lot.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings, JJ McCartney, everybody expected a lot out of him, and he's kind of just
Yeah, I mean, what happened?
It's not looking very good. He's turnover prone, so hopefully he can turn his career around, but not looking too good right now.
No, I feel like honestly, a team I'm debating on adding. I don't know. The Cowboys are kind of a difficult situation.
Yeah, they kind of they took that loss to the Lions, and that kind of hit them hard.
Yeah, but at times they can show that that offense is terrifying to play against.
It's just their defense, I feel like, kind of holds them back.
A little bit, yeah. But they've been better recently, but against the Lions, obviously, it wasn't an explosion. So, all right. Well, since we're doing that, storyline 3's here. Again, it's week 14. We're starting to wind down here. A couple more weeks left. So you have the conversation about playoff pitcher, the hunt as well. So right now in the AFC, we have the number 1 seed Patriots, obviously, with their record.
Surprise.
Yeah.
And second, we're coming in with the Broncos.
Which, again, we're not high on, but we'll see what happens.
The third seed's the Jaguars, which I feel like they could do something here.
Now, this seed, the 5th seed, or the 4th seed.
4th seed is either the Ravens or the Steelers.
Yeah, we don't know.
Look at it.
We'll after Sunday, we'll see what happens.
And then kind of a 5th seed is the Chargers, which the team's been kind of floating under the radar a little bit.
Honestly, that could – I forgot about the Chargers, honestly. Yeah. They are a solid team overall in general, but, again, that's another team that is fighting for the playoffs every year, but they can't just get over that hump.
The Colts are hanging around that 6th seed area, along with followed by the Bills.
Which is surprising.
Yep. The Bills took a big drop off. They're usually the top 2 seeds, but they're sitting back at the 7th.
The Patriots are number 1. You can't. That's someone in their division that they can't outrun.
And then trying to sneak in is the Texans, Steelers, Chiefs.
Really?
22.
22 minutes. Oh no.
This is before we did the thing, so
that's what I looked at it.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's easy, but okay.
So we OD'd. Damn. We OD'd.
I'm gonna end the stream.
Yeah, end it.
20